What? And before you ask, I had to look up to see if this was an actual thing. It's the New York Post, but I had to look up to see, you know, is this a thing that's actually happening? Um, Here's one from the Daily Caller. There's a there's this new cool Gen Z trend called checks notes, taking a walk. Um, Gen Z guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's bad enough you're the generation that is going to be forever known as the generation who was eating laundry detergent for internet clout. The same generation who is doing this crap as to raise awareness of the Holocaust. Now, I get that you kids, you Gen Zers, probably don't learn about anything like that in school anymore because teachers are too busy teaching you about gender and how the white men are evil and anal sex and all that crap. But when I was in school, we learned about World War II. We learned about the Holocaust. We learned about that stuff. You don't need to tell us about it. Silent walking trend has Gen Zers leaving iPhones at home to go for walks. They say this, and yet it's a TikTok trend, which means they have to take their phones and record themselves doing it in order for it to be a trend on TikTok.
Last week, I was not well. I was really, really not okay. I was ill, if you will, mentally. So this week, I'm committing to one silent walk a day.
Despite the irony of documenting your distraction free stroll with a smartphone, exactly, they're still using their phones, and then they upload this stuff to TikTok afterwards. So if you truly wanted a, you know, silent walk, um, you would just put your phone down somewhere, not go on TikTok and tell everyone, and you would just go outside and take a walk like every other normal person who isn't attached to their phone. You know, I grew up in the 90s. We had a version of Facebook back then as well. Social media has taken over everything, but we had a version of Facebook back in the day. It was called going over to your friend's house and say your friend had friends over. Well, now you become friends with those people. And then you start hanging out with those people as well, and say you hang out with those people and they have some of their friends with them. So now you met friends through your friend and who has friends who are now your friends. I know, weird concept, but you can't go anywhere without seeing. Hey, did you get that picture I sent you? Okay, hang on. Okay, I just sent it. I know, strange concept. So, silent walking. You're still recording yourself and you're still uploading it to TikTok. What? What? Taking the youngest generation by storm is ironically not new at all. They call it silent walking, that is, going for a walk without their phones or without listening to music, podcasts, or any sort of technological distraction. It'll change your life. So, you have people who may have been joking about it, but people will clearly take this seriously and actually act like they're a part of some movement. What all it is being a normal freaking person. A normal person is not, they're not all freaking day. When I go out, my phone stays right there. When I go to bed at night, my phone stays right there. I'm not in bed doing this. When I'm ready to go to bed, I get in my bed, I turn onto my side, and I go to sleep. Gen Z seems to think that, like, it's hard to do these things. It's not. So even if the first person created it as, like, some sort of joke, there are people who are clearly, oh my God, she's a trendsetter. This is the coolest thing ever. You're being a normal person, but then again, you're recording yourself doing it, so you're still using technology. I mean, how hard is it to just put down your phone for a couple minutes and go for a walk? Go for a walk without your phone at all. How to join the silent walk movement as in be a normal freaking person. Does this person have... Hang on, let me see if this person, like, if there's a video of this person. Okay, so I'm on their TikTok, and it seems to be a fairly normal page, you know? So I mean, she has a podcast that she does called, what was it called? Half of OK Sis Podcast. But nothing major like, oh, stupid pranks or, anything like that. So I mean, obviously there's some like weird, like goofy type things, but nothing like this. This is the original.
I'm committing to one silent walk a day.
Not me unintentionally starting a movement. It's called Silent Walking, and it's about to change your life. So this all started when my nutritionist recommended that I start walking 30 minutes a day instead of doing like insane cardio like I used to. Those workouts were making my body inflamed. That's a story for another time. And as I was about to go out on my first 30-minute walk, my sweet boyfriend challenged me to walk without distractions. No AirPods, no podcast, no music, just me, myself, and I. And at first I was like, fuck no, my anxiety could never, which is probably what you're thinking. But something within me was like, let me just try it. And look, the first 2 minutes are mayhem. Your mind is...
Okay, so it seems to be a legit thing. It's like instead of doing, workout and cardio, like that she would normally be doing, you just go out for a walk. You see elderly people doing it all the time. But saying that the first 2 minutes, how often are you glued to your screen that 2 minutes of walking without having something in your damn face is mayhem? I call this my walkie thinky time. Yeah, Gen Z just discovered walking. Is this real? This is just walking, like how people did it before technology. Exactly, I'm 57, been doing it forever. It's a freaking walk. So, just a walk. So, just going for a walk like we all did in the 90s. I wish we learned about walking decades ago. If I would have known, I would have invented this 30 years ago when I did it too. I can't believe this is real. So you're walking? Silent walking hard mode. Go to the mountains and listen to nature. Needs the name. I mean, that's what I do. I mean, normally that's what I do. I kind of walk and I go down to the community center and I sit at that bench. Even if I don't have to go out for anything, I'll just go down there and just sit there and I'll, see if there's any deer passing by and watch the squirrels up in the trees and just enjoy being outside. Sometimes I'll get home. Like today, I got home, I made myself something to eat. But then, like immediately after, I went to Dollar General. I don't like sitting here. It's a beautiful day out. It's I think about 60 degrees today. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm like, I'm not sitting here. So I walked down to Dollar General. So it's the fact that people are discovering walking and thinking that like it's some kind of new discovery. That's what we did in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s and the 60s and the 50s. Do you get where I'm going with this? What your doctor said is just doing something people have been doing since the dawn of man. Because I'm sure you possibly being glued to a screen and your podcast and all that isn't good. Like I said, if the fact that this woman says that 2 minutes of mayhem, what? 2 minutes, only 2 minutes in, you're like, oh, I need to look at. How often are you glued to your screen? This is how I walk to school for 30 miles under heavy snow. No shoes or bread for breakfast. 30 miles, both way, uphill, no shoes, at night. Oh wow, she's walking. But let's finish and see what she has to say.
Racing, you're gonna have anxiety. Something happens after 2 minutes where your brain just gets into this flow state and everything is quiet. And suddenly, you can fucking hear yourself. Look, the universe and your intuition comes to you through whispers. So if you're never alone with your thoughts and you never get quiet, you're gonna miss the whispers. And those whispers are the most important to be paying attention to. After 30 minutes of silent walking, I suddenly had the clarity that I had been always looking for. The brain fog lifted. Suddenly, all these ideas are flowing into me because I'm giving them space to enter. When you're listening to a podcast or music, you're distracting yourself. You're not letting the signs and the ideas have space to come to you. Every time I finish a silent walk, I have a new idea for my business. I've untangled a weird situation in my head that I've been ruminating over, and I feel like a lot of my current question marks get answered. Look, if I can do it, you can do it, I promise. Just try it out, trust me. If you can only do 5 minutes to start, that's fine. Build up to the 30, but give yourself the gift of getting quiet and listening to those whispers. For silent walking.
I'm getting too old for this crap. I'm getting too old for this. You're going for a walk. But then people are looking at this and they're doing the same, but they're recording themselves. How else do you think it's a TikTok trend? You're recording yourself. See this thing, the thing that you always have and that you're always doing this on. Before you go for a walk, and leave the house, don't take it with you and record your silent walking because you're still using. The whole point is to go out without technology, to go out and enjoy being outside. Enjoy, especially now, the nice crisp air. Go sit down at a local park or walk around your neighborhood. Something without technology. You're taking your phone and you're like, you're still using technology. I'm done here. I can't. Bye.